Conquest slowly approaches Mark. He is grateful to be able to see Mark again, but this time he has other orders. Massacre him and everyone around him. Conquest admits that he first underestimated the boy and assures him that this time he will need help. Conquest tells Mark that despite having a Geldarian on his side, he's overestimating Tech Jacket's abilities. In addition, within his team, he has his half-brother Oliver, who, despite having recovered his arm, Conquest promises to break it again. He says that this will be quite the spectacle, and the last one he will kill will be Mark. Being easily provoked by Conquest, Oliver rushes to attack him. Mark tries to stop his brother, but Lucan, one of the Viltrumites with Conquest, throws himself on Mark, restraining him. Tech Jacket begins to shoot his weapons, asking if the Viltrumites have any weaknesses. From a distance, Omni-Man comes out of the ship's debris and realizes that Conquest is here. The old villain is facing Oliver, and the boy is not giving him much of a fight, so Nolan rushes to help him, attacking him from the back. Not too far from there, Alan the alien had fainted because of the explosion but now seems to be regaining sense. The third Viltrumite who came with Conquest is facing Tech Jacket, and even though Tech Jacket is throwing him everything he's got, the Viltrumite isn't backing down, and the only option left for him is to fight him at close range. Meanwhile, we see Conquest grab Nolan by his head and say that this is his lucky day, because he gets to kill the traitor as well. Conquest says that he must admit one thing to Nolan: his son is a strong man, and he should be proud. The old Viltrumite headbutts Nolan's face, and Mark, who manages to free himself from Lucan, goes to his aid. Omni-Man warns Mark to be careful. However, Invincible has already fought Conquest before. He says he can deal with this. Mark begins to hit the old man's face over and over again, asking him why he's still alive. He killed him. He saw him die. But despite the fact that Invincible is hitting him heavily, Conquest manages to counterattack and tells Mark that he is not as strong as he thought. That's why he didn't kill him, but now it's time to end it. And that once he ends Invincible, he will return to Earth and destroy everything. On the other side of the battlefield, Oliver is now facing Lucan. Meanwhile, Tech Jacket is being beaten down by the third Viltrumite, but Alan comes to his aid. Alan tells Tech Jacket that his helmet will self-repair, but it will take time. Coming back to the fight with Conquest and Invincible, Mark remains shocked. He saw his dead body. Conquest reveals the truth. He was imprisoned in a block of steel beneath the surface, and someone was so stupid to believe he could be contained in it. Meanwhile, the battle between Oliver and Lucan continues, and Oliver is not doing well against him either. Nolan intervenes once again and saves his son. Lucan says he had been waiting for this encounter with Nolan for a long time. Back to Mark, who has finally connected all the dots. He knew that Cecil kept Conquest alive. That was the only possible answer to his question, and when he returns to Earth, he will have a talk with him. Conquest promises that he won't let him go anywhere, and that Invincible will never see anyone again. As the battle rages on, we see that Tech Jacket and Alan have united to defeat the third Viltrumite. Also, Nolan and Oliver have teamed up against Lucan. Seeing Oliver in a battle against a veteran Viltrumite, Omni-Man is very impressed with his son. Alan is now asking himself what the Viltrumites were thinking. They were only 3, and it was obvious that they wouldn't be able to beat them. Alan wanted to know why they thought they had a chance. Soon, the answer he was looking for appears before him: a Viltrumite battlecruiser, from which ships begin to emerge. Now, Mark and his friends are being overtaken. Both Alan and Omni-Man understand that this has become serious. They need a new battle plan. They must seek refuge. They cannot stand up to these forces. What no one has noticed is that Oliver has run out of oxygen. He cannot breathe and is beginning to feel dizzy. Nolan advises him to go to the nearby planet, and that's what Oliver does. But as he flies away from the battle, he draws Conquest's attention. The old man strikes Mark away so he can have time to go after his brother. Oliver is flying as fast as he can. However, Conquest is much faster. But luckily, Mark is able to get to Conquest first and grab him. Once the 3 are inside the planet, Mark crashes Conquest into a mountain. Mark holds the edge against him, grabbing him by the neck. The old man wanted to recover his air when he entered the planet, but Mark wouldn't let him breathe. Conquest smiles and then flies at full speed, taking Mark with him. However, Invincible does not intend to let Conquest go. Still, the Viltrumite manages to bring both of them back into orbit. Invincible thinks that Conquest's plan is to leave him without oxygen. However, he is wrong. Conquest's plan has changed. Now the first one he wants to kill is Mark. From the planet's orbit, Conquest comes crashing down once again with Invincible. During all this, Nolan is unable to see his children. He begins to get angry and goes looking for them. Back on the planet, Invincible still has Conquest in a deadly grip. He will not surrender. He won't let go, no matter how much it hurts. In retaliation, the elderly Viltrumite punches Mark's body with great force over and over again. But even after that, Mark does not give up. He keeps his grip on Conquest's neck. The Viltrumite is beginning to lose consciousness, and in a desperate attack, he strikes Mark against the ground and then impales Invincible with his hand. Even after this brutal attack, Mark does not give up, telling Conquest that that's not enough to stop him. The skin of the Viltrumite is now turning purple, and his eyes are bloodshot. Mark is also losing a lot of blood, and not only that, but his intestines are also beginning to fall out. Both Mark and Conquest begin to lose consciousness, and we see the battle finally come to an end. Nolan and Oliver manage to find Invincible. He seems to be barely alive, but the same cannot be said of Conquest.